Africa's biggest democracy is heading to the polls. Here's what you don't know about the Nigerian presidential candidates of this year. Stay with us for bonus facts all along the way and the best kept for the end. I'm Matty C and this is WADR. First up, but with no particular order, Omoyele Sowore from the AAC is the founder and publisher of the US-based news site Sahara Reporters. He is running for a second time after his previous attempts in 2019. The publisher was arrested later that year for his Revolution Now protest, which he intended to take across the country. He was later released and the detention was declared illegal. A former university student leader during the early 90s, he participated in demonstrations against the military junta of General Ibrahim Babangida after the annulment of the 1993 presidential election, acclaimed to have been won by MKO Abiola. Next up on our list, Bola Tinubu of the APC. The former two-term governor of the Lagos state is credited with attracting foreign investment and improving public transport. Briefly senator in the early 1990s, he is contesting the presidential election for the first time on the ticket of the ruling All Progressives Congress. The 70-year-old faces various accusations of corruption and has even been linked to allegations of drug trafficking in the US, all of which he denies, of course. Our next candidate is a judge. Peter Umeadi of the APGA party is running with Muhammad Koli. The former chief judge of the southeastern Anambra State is also a professor of law. His party, the All Progressive Grand Alliance, is particularly strong in eastern Nigeria and is the only party other than the ruling APC and main opposition party to produce a sitting governor of state. Of course, you guessed it, we are talking about his native Anambra State. Then comes our fourth candidate representing the ADP, Sani Yusuf, a politician and businessman from the northeastern Kano state. Sani Yusuf plans to end systemic corruption in Nigeria. He is another politician who had a role in the annulled 1993 polls, as he was North Central Presidential Coordinator of the acclaimed first runner-up Alhaji Bashir Tofa's presidential campaign. And this isn't his first rodeo either, as he was the ADP's presidential candidate for 2019 presidential election. Drumroll please! A promise made is a promise kept with WADR. It's time for our bonus facts. Did you know that this year, 93.5 million people have registered to vote, and 43 million of them are among the youth? This conforms to the trend of increasing voter turnout in Nigeria. So without further ado, let's move to Kola Abiola from the PRP. Son of the late Nigerian business tycoon and politician Moshood Abiola, the presumed winner of the 1993 elections which were cancelled by the country's military rulers. A businessman like his father, his vice presidential candidate is Zigo Haruna, running for the People's Redemption Party, PRP. Now to the candidate of the main opposition party. Atiku Abubakar is a former vice president and is running for the presidency for the 6th time. And of course, his first attempt was in 1993. The former customs officer and later business tycoon served 2 terms as vice president to former President Olusegun Obasanjo between 1999 and 2007. He was credited with making reforms to key sectors that helped kickstart economic growth. Interestingly, Atiku Abubakar was the PDP candidate after the primary election and de facto winner of the 1999 Adamawa governorship election, but got nominated by PDP presidential candidate Olusegun Obasanjo as vice president. His running mate Boni Haruna thereafter assumed his place as governor-elect. Next up is Adebayo Adewole from SDP. Adebayo Adewole is a lawyer by profession, politician and businessman from the southwestern Ondo state. He is representing the Social Democratic Party, SDP, with his running mate Buhari Yusuf. He graduated from the Nigerian Law School in Lagos. Adebayo also attended law school in the United States of America, where he passed the New York bar exams. According to him, Nigeria has more than enough to abolish poverty and it must manage its sovereignty well and have full control of its land. On to the self-proclaimed clean man himself. Peter Gregory Obi from LP is a former governor of southeastern Anambra State, where he has a strong track record. Peter Obi has an active support base among Nigeria's youthful population whose activities in his support is conspicuous in the social media space. They are known as his obidients. The 61-year-old portrays himself as Mr. Clean, in contrast to many Nigerian politicians who are accused of using public office to steal money. He is seen within and outside Nigeria as a third force and perhaps the most potent threat to the ruling APC and main opposition PDP, who have ruled Nigeria for a combined 24 years since 1999. Who would have thought we'd have a prince on our list? Malik Ado Ibrahim is representing the YPP. Born a prince in the north-central Kogi state in 2007 to 2011, he served as an undersecretary for the IREO, a UN Global Compact branch on renewable and sustainable intergovernmental agency. Prince Malik is a businessman, his most successful venture being in renewable energy and technology. He's also the founder of the Formula One team Arrows A20. After our prince, let's get on to our next bonus fact. The first one was good, eh? But did you know that there has been a 47% increase in 27 years of polling units? In 2023, there were 56,872 new polls built, amounting to 176,846. Very impressive. Our 10th candidate on the list is Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of the NNP. He is the former two-time governor of the northwestern Kano state, where he introduced free education for local residents during his 2 terms. He served as a Minister of Defense from 2003 to 2007 and vows to tackle the country's various security crises by recruiting an extra 750,000 soldiers, taking the army size to 1 million. He was also a senator between 2015 and 2019. Candidate number 11 is not only a presidential flag bearer, but also a national chairman of his party. That's right, Daniel Ngwanyawu of the ZLP. He was the national chairman of the Labour Party LP and later chairman of its board of trustees before he left the party for the ZLP. He is contesting with Abubakar Ramalan and his vice presidential candidate. Our next candidate is Christopher Imumolen from the AP. A professor of engineering at 39, he is the youngest candidate on the ballot. He holds a PhD in engineering research and educational management. He is standing for the Accord Party with Bello Maru as his running mate. He established the UNIC Foundation, empowerment and employment scheme that envisions the goal of supporting 4 million Nigerian businesses every year with grants and granting reliefs and scholarships. Last but certainly not least, Adenuga Oluwafemi is running on behalf of the Boot Party BP. He holds a master's in project management from Northumbria University. Adenuga Oluwafemi has worked and consulted for many local international organizations, including World Bank and African Development Bank projects. He has Mustafa Turaki as his vice presidential candidate. Wow, you made it to the end. In addition to your newly acquired knowledge, you still deserve an extra something special. What will it be? Another bonus fact? How about some humble advice? They say when Nigeria sneezes, the whole continent catches a cold. So whether you are in or outside the country, it's worth keeping your ear turned to what's going on in these elections. See you Saturday. Follow us on your preferred social media platforms at WADR News. Thank you for staying with us. Have a happy and safe election weekend.